Welcome to Takeover, the most underrated sports debate show on YouTube. A sports debate show that can be trusted. A sports debate show that knows the rules of football. Whoa! Knows the rules of football. We're outside the stadium right now. You know, we're the type of sports show, when an onside kick is on the ground, we're not going to look at it. We're going to pick it up and recover it so we can win the game. You know? And that's why I love this show. Responsible. Thinking. My name is Cam.
As you know, my name is Josh.
And my name is Deandra.
And this is Takeover.
We play it all in night. Yeah, need it all in advance. The opposition know we're ready for it. Like a supper we eating, it won't be the last. Grind out the muscle, pull up. Parker right on the grass. We coming in, take over everything, run it up. Not that holding me back. 3 in the wood, rushing. I don't like Dutch, don't even matter, you know I'm facing. When I roll a paper, I like to go double. Run up a check, flip a W, make it an M. I need a couple.
Starting off with our first topic, since Giannis Antetokounmpo ended up winning the Kia 2020 MVP award, a lot of people are asking, what does MVP actually mean? What spectrum makes you an MVP? So, guys, what's an MVP?
All right. So here's the thing, right? I've seen all these posts. I've seen everybody giving their take about why Giannis didn't actually deserve it. First of all, it's a regular season award. It's built entirely around the 82, or in this season's case, like 60-something games that you play in the regular season. Playoffs don't mean anything. That's how Dirk won it when they got eliminated in the first round in like 2006. So everybody that's saying that Giannis doesn't deserve it because of what happened in the playoffs don't understand the award. Second of all, everybody likes to isolate the term valuable. And they say it means, you know, whoever was the most valuable to their team. So, like, for example, when Russell Westbrook won MVP, everybody said, well, he deserves it because if you took him off, they'd be a lottery team, which was true. But the problem is they get fixated on that word valuable, and it's always highlighted, it's pointed as the basis of most arguments of why this guy was more valuable. But see, the term valuable, especially in case of this award, has multiple different factors going into it. You do have to look at the stats of everybody because numbers typically do not lie. So, for example, Giannis Antetokounmpo, in 2 fewer minutes per game, upped his scoring average by 2 points, upped his rebounding by 1 rebound per game, and upped his three-point percentage by 2%. And he was on the winningest team by win percentage in the NBA regular season. That's not nothing. And not only that, it focuses on that, it focuses on the impact that it has on the team, which in Giannis' case, he had a 15.4 net rating, which was first on the team. He improved the offensive rating by about 1 and the defensive rating by 5. He led the NBA in usage percentage. So he was clearly an integral part on a very good team. And the narrative is the other part, and I think that that's underrated. I saw you posting about this where everybody was talking about the LeBron D-Wade MVP. The reason D Rose. I can't speak. I don't know how to speak English. So the reason D Rose won, not only because he had a fantastic season, but because he took a team like the Chicago Bulls that had been in purgatory since Michael Jordan left and put them as the number 1 seed. And all these factors conglomerate together and create the most valuable player award that we know and love in the NBA. And that's why, personally, I think Giannis deserved it, because after last season's disappointment, he came back hungrier, he came back and dominated the regular season, important but regular season, and he was an integral part on arguably the best team in the NBA in the regular season.
I agree with everything that you just said. It's not only about narrative, it's not only about statistics, but like you said, it's everything together. Which is why I just want to address certain things. First, I'm going to say that Giannis and LeBron both deserve the award.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
They both deserve the award. But, like we said, it's the regular season award. And I just want to point out a couple things. The media, I believe, is so inconsistent with voting for the MVP and what things are taken into consideration for voting the MVP. Just for an example, Ramona Shelburne, she said she is a voter for the MVP, and she said out of her mouth, these are her words, that she voted for LeBron just because of narrative. And if that doesn't satisfy you, we have another person named Dave I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. I'm sorry if I'm not. McMenamin. I hope so. I hope I'm saying that right. I'm sorry if I'm not. He said that he is just not voting for LeBron because he's voting for Giannis and not for LeBron, primarily for the China accident. What does that have to do with basketball? What does that have to do with them playing on the court? This is why I'm saying the MVP race is so inconsistent. And then you look at the pattern of things that happen. For example, like I said, no disrespect to LeBron, but how is it that the whole regular season it was Giannis is going to be MVP, Giannis is going to be MVP. The last, 3 games of the season where LeBron went against Giannis and he had like 3 game streak, winning game streak. And all of a sudden, they're neck and neck. How in a span of a week do we say, okay, LeBron is neck and neck with Giannis, when before Giannis was leading the way the whole regular season? I don't understand that. And then we also have to be fair. The arguments that we used for LeBron back when he was in the East and people were saying he deserved MVP, we're not using for Giannis. So, for example, whenever LeBron played back then, it was always, if LeBron had that team, he'd make all these stats. If LeBron had that team, he would win all these games. Well, you have to say that for him now, because Anthony Davis, he leads the Lakers in points, he leads the Lakers in rebounds, he leads the Lakers in I believe it's blocks. So you're playing with a top NBA player. We have to be fair to Giannis, whose second best player is Chris Middleton.
Our thoughts on Chris Middleton are very clear.
And people always say, try to rub out Kyrie, try to rub out Dwayne Wade, Bosh, and Kevin Love, talking about how they were washed. So we have to be fair to Giannis. And again, they both deserve this award, but I believe that the award went to the right person.
Well, that's why the 3-person format of this show kind of like, y'all kind of eat up the other person's take. Like, if you go last on this show, oh my gosh. For real. All right, but the MVP to me comes down to 3 categories. Who is the most dominant player on a winning team? Someone in the league who's proved they're the best at their position in the regular season, and someone who is undoubtedly the best on their team. Giannis checked all those marks. That's why he won. As far as it being inconsistent, I disagree with that. I feel like people voting may not have the proper credentials to vote and may not vote on the right things. But as far as those 3 categories, everyone who votes wins those things. I mean, everyone who wins gets checks those categories. You look at the last 5 MVPs, you got Giannis, Harden, Westbrook, and Curry. Those 2 guys dominated the game without any question. Those were the main guys on their teams, and they won consistently. So when you look at all the LeBron fans saying that LeBron should have won, I mean, back to D'Andra's point, Anthony Davis had averaged 26, 9, and 3. You could arguably say that Anthony Davis would have been in the MVP conversation as well. You can't win an MVP when you have another top 5 player on your team. And I know a lot of the argument for LeBron fans is going to be, but when LeBron's off the court, the team is so bad. And when LeBron leaves teams, the teams are so bad. Well, that happens because LeBron James is the type of player who sucks all the resources out of teams to get what he wants. You look at what he did in Cleveland. He threw away Wiggins. You look at what he did in LA. I mean, he pushed out Kyrie Irving too. At one point, LeBron traded the whole entire starting 5 to get his whole starting 5 and still struggled. And then when you look at what he did in LA, he took away Lonzo, he took away Hart, he took away Ingram. After they get their championship or whatever they do, they have nothing left. And the narrative is going to be, where were they without LeBron?
I've seen this written before, and I think it's very true. It's easier to take a decent team and make them good, as opposed to taking a good team and making them great. I think that a lot of people forget that. So LeBron takes by itself, arguably not a very good team, and he makes them very good. But Giannis takes a team that would be arguably good by it, like without him, and makes them great and makes them a powerhouse in the regular season. Playoffs don't matter here. Yeah. Anyway, switching gears to the NBA playoffs. Now we're going to talk about something a little bit more tangible. The Nuggets and Lakers. Lakers are up 2-0. What are y'all seeing so far? What's the take?
All right. Okay. So this is over. And I'm going to go ahead and keep it short, sweet, simple. I know they're the comeback kids. I know they got Murray. Jokic is a walking triple-double at this point. this is over. I kind of had that feeling in Game 1 when LeBron had his little fill-out game. LeBron has had these games in the playoffs where he just passes the ball around, pokes and chooses. He had 15, 12, and 6, and they still beat the Nuggets convincingly. And then after last night with the AD buzzer beater, I feel like the life is taken out of this team. I feel like Denver should have won last game. But I mean, you look at what transpired in the last 3 minutes. They just couldn't. I mean, Jokic played really great, but they just couldn't get it done in the end. And the upgraded play of Caruso and playoff Rondo, I feel like those guys have stepped up, and the Lakers are just the unbeatable force at this point in time. And they're losing to LeBron while he's shooting 30% from the 3-point line. That's not going to keep up. LeBron is in zero dark 23 mode. It's a foregone conclusion. The Lakers are winning the finals.
Okay, so I don't necessarily want to count out the Nuggets because they did come back on teams from a 3-1 lead twice. But you also don't want to knock out the Lakers because of what you have stated in your take. But when I look at the Nuggets, I see them as like that superhero type, tangible type thing, or like in a Marvel movie where a superhero is just finding out their superpowers and they really don't know how to use them yet. That's what I feel like the Nuggets are right now. I feel like they need to be more seasoned, and I feel like this series is going to help them. But I think the Lakers are going to win. I think it's going to be in 7. But I have the Lakers.
In 7? Hold on, I'm going to interrupt that. What have you seen over the past 2 games that you think the Nuggets are going to be capable of winning 3 games versus this team?
Because
lovable walrus in the center.
To be honest with you, it's really, I've always had them down in the last 2 series, and they just kept coming back. So that's really the only reason.
But this is LeBron James. I feel like we're a little bit blinded. The whole cast was on the Kawhi. This is LeBron James. He's on the path to get the 4th ring. I don't see anybody stopping this. What's about to happen is they may win tonight, the Nuggets, and then that's it. This is ending in 5, maybe 6. I'm just being here. LeBron's eating it up here.
I'm gonna finish my
take. Go ahead. 7.
I don't need too much time. Take your time.
But anyway, okay. So the reasons why I think that the Nuggets will lose this series is because Jamal Murray, it's his first time really transitioning into that dog player, into really making clutch time. And Michael Porter Jr., this is really his first playoff series, and he hasn't played a full season yet. And other role players like Millsap, Grant, Harris, they're all... Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
No, I love him. I adore him.
They are, if you look at the last 2 games they've played, they've only had single-digit games. You cannot do that playing against the Lakers or LeBron James and Anthony Davis.
That's what their role players do.
Yeah, but when your 2 players almost average 56 a game, it doesn't really matter, does it?
I think the one thing you need to remember is they're playing without Will Barton, who was their starting small forward all year. Cut in front of you. Anyway, I'm with Cam here. This series is over. I'm sorry. As much as I love the Nuggets, I'm a huge fan of Nikola Jokic. My adoration for him has been well documented on this show. Jamal Murray has been going absolutely insane when he's been on. He's still showing that hot and cold tendency, which makes me hesitant to crown him as like he's arrived, but he's shown flashes. But it's quite simple. 3 days ago, when the MVP was announced, what did LeBron say? What was his mood?
He's pissed off.
Yeah.
And that's all you need to know. LeBron James is pissed off. When LeBron James is pissed off, very rarely can anybody keep him from what he wants to do. When he feels the need to impose his will, he's shooting 30% from 3. Who cares? He's 6'9", 250. All right, he can post anybody up on the Nuggets. There is nobody on the Nuggets that is built to guard him. Gary Harris is too small. Torrey Craig is too slow. Nobody on this team is going to stop him. If the Nuggets take a game, I guarantee this series is going to be over in 5 at best. I'm sorry. I love the Nuggets and I'm a huge fan of them, but if they get a game, LeBron is just going to put on the blinders.
It's more ego.
Exactly.
Don't win a game.
I'm definitely not a LeBron fan in any way, shape, or form, but I respect the man's greatness and I respect the man's skill level. And that 4th ring is coming. It's not going to do anything for his overarching legacy, but that 4th ring is coming.
So that's going to wrap up our show. The Lakers are winning the championship, basically, and Giannis is the MVP.
Can I say something before?
Go ahead.
First of all, I got 2 things to say. First of all, I want you guys to like, I want you guys to comment, I want you guys to subscribe. Right? Go down in the comments. Give us a topic idea. Tell us what you want to hear more from. Want to hear more college football talk? I mean, that'll be coming soon, but if you want to hear more college football talk, let us know. You want to hear more NFL? Want to hear some MLB? I know I want to hear some MLB, but they don't listen to me right here. But I want you to like, comment, subscribe, share us with your friends, put us on your Snapchat stories, all that good stuff. And second of all, I want to address something that you said at the beginning of the show. You were dumping on the Falcons, sir. And you know what? All that criticism was well deserved. I 100% agree with everything you said. The Falcons absolutely choked out of their nostrils. But here I am wearing a Falcons t-shirt. All right, and I know you're throwing shots at my team, but the fact of the matter is I stick with them through thick and I stick with them through thin. I stuck with them through the 13-3 season where we lost to the Niners in the NFC Championship game. And I stuck with them through those 4-12 seasons that came after. So it's part of the fandom. It would be worse if I ran from the pain. Instead, embrace it, because then when they eventually win a championship in about 50 years, it'll be that much sweeter.
I just want to say something real quick.
Go ahead.
Cowboys fans, I just want to say,
Y'all didn't.
you did not win because you were good. You won because the Falcons played bad.
You won because Dan Quinn should not have a job anymore. Let's just be.
I guess I would just close out on the Falcons as well. I've been telling you guys for
We made a whole third topic.
years, time. It's just these guys are gonna let you down. Repeatedly.
Cam, I don't think anybody is arguing with you here.
Repeatedly. It's a sad town we live in. I gotta.
Yeah, we play it all in night. Yeah, need it all in advance. The opposition know we're ready for it. Like a supper we eating, it won't be the last. Grind out the muscle, pull up. Parker right on the grass. We coming in, take over everything, run it up. Nothing holding me back. 3 in the wood, rushing. I don't like Dutch, don't even matter. You know I'm a face.